Okay, 7:30, call the meeting to order. I'm Chief Trustees and Fiscal Officer President. And we have a moment of silence and pledge allegiance to the flag.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America.
You gotta get your paper.
Yep. What's that?
You know, get 5 minutes to do something.
Oh, I thought we did away with that.
Well, you may have to wait it.
Oh, all right, fine.
How you doing?
He's not allowed to talk.
Oh, he's not allowed to talk? Looks like you're not allowed to talk.
I give them strict orders.
How you doing, Sheriff?
Had receipts totaling $6,130.52, $140 from Thompson Smith Funeral Home for a foundation order, motor vehicle license tax $1,081.20, permissive motor vehicle license tax $1,900.90, gasoline tax $2,723.42, and local government distribution $285. The bank reconciliation as of September 15th is $482,785.91. Completed all the foundations at the cemetery. We did 16 foundations this year. The total cost was $3,223. We're totally paid it was $3,223. I didn't do a cost estimate to see how much it actually cost us to do that. OPRS employer account summary with a 6-cent credit. I filed information with the state of Ohio for payments. They're going to start doing electronic payments. I attended the Lunch and Learn webinar pre-year-end closeout from the UAN from State Auditor's Office. And it's 40-some pages you're supposed to study before they went online. And then the end of the year is on this Friday. And I'll be sitting listening to that for
her now. You see, it's a whole fresh new one. I think it looks a lot better. This is a lady who did a lot of work for the veterans. This used to hang on the wall of the chapel outside. We're going to put this inside now. I'll take that with me when I go.
Move new business.
Jowski was here working there today. He's got the ice grit material he's hauling. Got a sample of it.
Okay, yeah.
About all we got.
Okay. Looks a little bit more gravelly than what's on back.
And he's got a price for some stuff, but probably we should. We got Cymax price on it, right?
Did he give you a price on that?
it was in last meeting's minutes. 12:50.
You allowed to look at that, or?
Yeah, when we let you. Go ahead.
Oh, yeah.
Come on up, John. Okay. Then we got tires on the 1 ton. They're bad. They wore out. We got English is supposed to get his price. And we got.
Well, he didn't make very much, and what he
I
made,
think he makes enough for the county.
that's it.
Every year.
He
it's the
got
same
just
thing.
enough for the county, and they're gonna clean them out here in a little bit, so.
They clean them out, so I don't care.
What did you say Cymax price was?
It was $12.50.
50 delivered.
$12.50 delivered. $9.50 picked up.
What?
Referring to what we're just doing here?
Hmm?
What are you referring to, the general town?
I've been coming over to these meetings for the last few months since I heard about all this problem with the roads and so forth. And observing what's going on. And having problems with residents coming in and complaining, it's been a normal thing among township trustees. When I was in, we faced this problem, you know. We didn't have to go to the point of filling out a paper and list of what we want to discuss and so forth. You have to bite your tongue, and that's part of what trustees face. The thing of it is the people that elect you into office, hopefully they was figuring that you would represent them here in the township. But sometimes it appears that you people work against them in making policies, which makes it difficult for people to express their concerns at a township meeting. We never had to go through this before. I know I was in there. We got called just about everything under the sun, but you take and you bite your tongue and you give the people a true answer as to what their questions are and go from there. It's become a personality problem that seems to me is some of the residents come and complain about something that's apparently a concern to them, but the Board of Trustees don't seem to give them a truthful answer to their problems sometimes. And I think this creates an irritation on the part of the person that's answering or asking the question. I didn't think that it would have to go this far to fill out a paper to explain what you want to talk about at a township meeting, but if this is going to be your policy, I guess it's going to be it. I mean, this township has been around since 1818, and we never had to go through anything like this before.
Well,
Go ahead.
the one answer that I can think of that comes to mind is that we have beat this horse to death. We've done everything you've asked. We've stopped using that material.
Well, I wasn't involved in the material itself because I don't live on a road that this material was spread on. But I just came and listened to things that other people had brought up that lived on these roads, and it was more than one road that this material was being picked up off the road. So at first, when there was a complaint made about this material, I didn't think a whole lot about it because sometimes you might run into problems with some foreign material being in your stone that you spread. I mean, that happens.
Well, I've talked to other
But
trustees.
it just kept going and going, and
Yes.
you was telling the people that this material was good to be spread on the road, and all. Then you had this gentleman from Youngstown that came up and kind of defend you trustees, and when he was asked if this material was approved for road use, his answer was, I sell the material to the customer, and what the customer does with it, he didn't know. That was his answer. Well, if this material was approved to be put on the road, his answer would be yes. But you kept beating this thing and beating this thing. Not only the trustees, but some of the residents that lived on these roads, and it didn't seem to be a clear answer as to what the outcome was gonna be until here a meeting or two ago. You trustees have gotta be up and above any resident that comes in to voice a complaint. You gotta listen to them. You don't have to agree with them. You don't have to disagree with them. You listen to their complaints, take it as an advisement, and go to the next subject. But don't sit there and argue with a resident out here and tell them that they're the ones that put the material on the road and that they're contaminating your pile of material out here. Because that was not true. But I'm not going to hammer on this anymore, but this is just my opinion of, you have to take it and sit there and take it with a grin, I guess. You don't sit there and argue with your people to put you in the office. Now on the cemetery, I came through there today. Is Lori off work, or is she sick, or what?
She's over there.
A lot of leaves in that cemetery.
Yeah, they weren't all on the ground right away, but now they
You know,
are.
if they're there and left there, you know, when they get snow on them,
Yeah, they'll be.
they're gonna be tough next spring to get out of there. We've had some real good days.
Gary? Ron Anderson,
That's me.
think we hollow.
Yeah. I got a question for you guys. I've been waiting for 5 years now on that bridge down there. And you kind of brushed it under I don't know if it's faded away or whatever. But I have a suggestion or something that I want one of you guys to check out. Now they're trying to pass a levy for this Metro Parks. If you're gonna not do anything down there, give the road to them. And let them have it to go down through their bicycles or whatever. They do it over in Pennsylvania, all those old steel bridges. Don't just let that road go to nothing, because it can be, let them have it if you're not gonna do anything with it. You follow what I'm saying? The Metro Parks guy was here looking for money. I don't know who he was. You know who he was. I don't know what his name was.
Yeah, they wrote it down.
But I mean,
You're talking about Horton?
Peter Collier, yeah. I mean, that's a possibility. I mean, why can't we keep that open at least for people to bike down through there or whatever down through there? I mean, the township owns the road, right?
Yep.
Well, it's a county bridge down there.
They can ride a bike across it, John, that's what I'm saying. They do it over in Pennsylvania, the bridges that have been condemned as far as traffic, they let a bike across in there. I mean, you can walk across it, you can ride a bike across it or whatever. I mean, there's all sorts of bike trails around. I realize there's not one connected to that bridge. But I really hate to see that go the way that it looks like it's gonna go. Because nobody's making an effort to do anything with that bridge down there. And that's a shame, because you tell me a place that you can go to and see a steel bridge like that. You know of any place around here that's a steel bridge like that?
No.
They put all them thousands of dollars or whatever in that old Route 7 cement bridge, and there's two of them, and they want to do the other one next to town. Let's do something with that bridge, one way or another, instead of letting that be closed completely down there.
I'll bring this up to Tim Martin and see what his suggestion would be on doing
But
it.
and I'm also saying, ask them guys on that Metro Parks, if Tim Martin says, which I'm probably sure he's gonna say, they ain't gonna put no money into that bridge. I'm also looking at, why not ask them guys if they want it? If you guys aren't gonna do anything with it, you might as well give it to somebody that's gonna do something. That's all I'm saying. Follow me?
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, there's no sense of giving it up and just, and the other one I got is on insurance. I know kind of, John, I was going back and forth there because the thing was coming around here, and I only got 5 minutes in a democracy, so. There's two guys sitting up there that, I think Roger quoted 100 and wages between the 3 or 4 up here, and the insurance, we're spending what? More money there than we're spending on material for our roads. We need to do something different. I mean, it's a shame to me to sit here and look at my tax dollars sitting up there and going down a dirt road that needs work on it. It's a shame. And you two guys, I'm not You can't paint and you can't paint it, they need to be changed. If John was in your thing, I mean, it's
Yeah.
public record. And I'd like to know if you guys are doing anything, have you looked at doing
Yeah,
anything?
I looked across that, I decided where to, I mean.
It takes all three of you, we've been down this road before, Roger
know.
and I, and it takes three of you guys to agree on it before the first of the year or whatever, and if you don't, three of you agree on it, then it don't pass.
Right, well, I was trying to figure out where to, I don't wanna take away everything from, on it. I mean, I
You
don't
know
like,
there's a problem, he knows
Yes.
there's a problem, you guys admitted that, we all know it. Now, what has to be addressed? It has to be
I guess
addressed.
just figure out where you wanna cut, you know, I mean,
That's you.
my
two.
wife's insurance, we pay, she pays so much out of that towards it. For the rest of the family policy, we pay our own deductible.
There ain't too many people that can say they got full coverage hospitalization, especially, I hate to say this to you guys, part-time help. I think I can quote a trustee as saying that. That's all I got.
Yeah, I had the numbers on all that and stuff, I was.
Oh, I did too. That's it. But I will expect an answer in the next minutes.
Okay. Gonna have some.
Do you have a question? Is this yours?
Yep, I can't help you, can't read your writing. Some people can't spell, so we still have our right to express our opinion.
Well, all you need to do is say what it says on there.
Okay. Anyways, that backhoe, you guys never told me what's the deal on that backhoe, how much did it cost to get it fixed? With just the seal out of it, it shouldn't cost that much to change the seal.
There's a bearing.
The whole bearing
Bearing.
bag.
Seal.
One bad or something.
All the bearings went out of it, and I just replaced everything in it.
So why did it all go bad?
Because the seal got poked out.
Well, a good operator would know to check that fluids and keep the fluids up and maintenance.
I got the same hubs on my tractors, I check them once a year.
Hmm.
Same ones on that
I
back.
know there's a lot of machines, you know, they're making 50 years old and they still work because you constantly checking the fluids.
Well, we can't spend all day
Once you
maintaining.
see the fluid leaking, you fix it. That way it doesn't become a big problem.
Nobody's seen it.
And
so.
I have more questions, but
You didn't get your.
in this letter, in here, in the minutes, you asked, you wrote it, I asked your last meeting about that.
Where's that?
Right there. But sending me a letter from the prosecutor,
Yeah.
and you didn't read it enough in the minutes last meeting at the 14th. I see it in the paper, in the minute papers this week.
That was brought up last meeting.
Yeah,
It
it
wasn't
says
from it.
received a copy of a letter sent to Richard
You didn't
Whitwick
read it
by the
off.
prosecutor.
I asked you about that. You read off the one for Chuck Raleigh, but you didn't read off the one about me.
We had it.
You didn't read it off, so why is it in there? I want a copy of that disc of October 14th. Now, when you guys graded the road Monday out there was a pile of garbage on the edge of the road. Took the maintainer and drug it down the road, so now it's all the way up and down the road.
Garbage, bag garbage.
Somebody dumped off a pile of garbage that is ashes and burnt tires, light bulbs, cans, dumped it right on the edge of the road, and the maintainer took it down the road.
I don't know anything about it.
Well, if you stop over there and talk to Bob, he'll tell you about it.
Where
With
was
the
it
grader they run down the road.
You couldn't miss that pile.
at? Where was it at? By Bob's?
Right there, Roten and Adams.
Alright, I'll ask him about it.
So the backhoe, how much was it to fix it?
It's on this one. You put those
This is
packs.
on the 14th,
Yeah.
35 under,
Was it on there?
yeah. It's on the minutes.
3,500, that sounds like the whole knuckle.
It was the whole hub.
That sounds like a major deal. Somebody should have heard that snapping and cracking.
Wow. That don't snap. Just gears running.
Oh, okay.
I had it apart. Just gears in there.
Oh, you had the part?
Yep, Dave and I helped him out there.
Oh,
Helped him put it back together.
where's the old pieces? Did you save them?
I don't know if he's junked them when we hauled scrap or not.
Should have showed the residents what was left of it.
Hey, oil runs out, that's what happens, that stuff.
You guys spent a lot of time moving that pile of slag.
So we pushed it up so we can pipe road for the ice grits and some more stone, that's why it's pushed up. We had to have room in the yard.
I think you need to get a camera on that fuel tank too.
You have another question on this?
That's all.
Okay. John,
Mm-hmm.
you got a question about Simac only one bidding?
Yeah, that's what it says, Simac, is that, they're the only ones bidding on, these things go out for bid. I mean, I know you did work with Polchowski this week, so I'm sure that's where you probably in talking to him, you got some other avenues, but, I mean, doesn't this stuff go out for bid? Where's Benson at? I mean, Jansen, all of them. It just seems like Simac just keeps falling in, and I thought we discussed Simac, and we were gonna seriously consider not using them, because that's what caused you the problem that you got now. And it's not over with.
When we bid that stuff, we had a bid from Benson on that slag.
No, here's what I want you to truthfully tell me. What did you get a bid off of Benson for? We'll just take Terry for prime example, one of them.
Well, that was 57 slag.
That's it. Now you're gonna tell me, which I don't know whether you know or not, I'm not here to argue with you, that was 57 slag?
John,
I ask you a question.
I'm telling you the honest answer on this. I told you this before. I thought slag was slag, okay?
Exactly. I mean, I'm not here to argue with you,
All right,
I'm just
I mean,
talking.
I know, I did know what was all involved with the slag. It was nice, cheap material, to help build the roads up. That's why I was on board getting it, okay? I learned a lesson from this. This is not the stuff to get, all right?
Exactly, but see, the thing is, you got a price from Terry, here's what I'm trying to get at, Roger. You got a price from Simac, not on 57 stone, that was not. No part of that was 57 stone. When Terry Benson gave you a price, I guarantee he gave you a price on 57 stone. The same as anybody else would. So you're not playing equal apples for apples.
Well, I understand.
You know, I can tell you, hey, I'll bring you 57 stone and bring you crap like that. But is it fair to the rest of the guys bidding? No, that stone should have been hauled out of here. That's my opinion, and it would have been hauled out if I was in your spot. You know it, I gave you the paperwork on how to do it. But
Benson was 19 and a quarter. They were the highest.
yeah, but what was he giving you?
Well, that's,
Garbage, or was he giving you 57 stone that you ordered? See, this is the problem, and this is what people are upset over. And that pile should have went right back to Simax. And I have no qualms with John Simac, Marty, any of them. But when you bring me something like that and dump it, whether I looked at it or not, I think you extended them a hell of a gratitude. My opinion is you should have been there on top to pile, but you felt you were dealing with somebody honest. We'll leave it at that. But that pile should have been taken right back over there. And guaranteed if that button would have been pushed, they'd have hauled that right back. Because he had nowhere to go. And you guys are eating all the slack, making all kind of enemies over bullshit. That's all it was. But I think you need to entertain a lot more people, man. There's a lot of people doing backhauls. In fact, when Bob was in here, he had Danny Fowler, which I gave him his name, from D&B Trucking down in Youngstown. and they backhaul. They got a deadhead up here to the dock to get stuff. Same thing with them ice grits. I don't know if you, the hell's their name? They just sold their one yard and moved out a little bit further, but they're hauling sand, it's a sand yard, like, to get that. And that stuff there, I'm gonna tell you straight up, check it out for crush resistance. Because I think that's blast furnace. And if you notice, it's got a lot of little holes in it.
Yeah.
I think it'll crush. I'm not saying it will or it won't, but
Blast furnace
do
is
your
light.
homework.
This stuff's heavy. I've hauled that over the years.
Mhm.
That crushes.
but it
Yeah.
it'll
It'll
crush.
Yeah. You can't get enough on a dump truck. That's how light it is.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's why we got samples of all this stuff. And when we buy this spring, there'll be samples of this stuff.
Well, and then I wanted to,
They bring you that stuff. That's
you gotta require it. You're the boss.
well, I know.
You're the one buying it, telling me what sample. And the paperwork to go with it, so when somebody jumps you, there it is.
It was educational.
But another thing I wanna know was about them minutes. If the copies of them minutes were
Yeah,
together.
I have them here for you.
Alright,
I have them here for you.
alright.
And Francis
Thank you.
wants them too, right?
Yep. Cause I wanna take them to my insurance company and I think I'm gonna hire a lawyer because it's ridiculous.
You Francis?
Yep.
Okay, you got the minutes there that you requested. What's your second question? About, big chunks of asphalt on Rigger.
Yep. For the last meeting, there was no big chunks of asphalt on Rigger Road. Straight out said, there ain't none. And I went down there the next day and all you see is big chunks on the edge of the road. So why would somebody be lying about big chunks of asphalt on the side of the road? I mean, that's a trustee, plain out just lying.
We left.
No,
No,
wait a
that's
minute.
lying.
Can
When
I
he said there was
explain?
no chunks of asphalt, and they are there.
Let him answer you.
We rented a county roller, that road was rolled. There was no chunks of asphalt on that road.
We're,
Did
build,
we not rent the roller?
Yeah.
I think you brought it or someone brought it.
Yeah.
we're building the edge of the road up. That road had no edge to it. Nothing.
You need something there for base.
And I personally ran that roller. There was it was smashed in the ground, everything. That
Wow.
road was smooth.
You can drive down the road and you can see the chunks.
Well, I don't know where they
And
come from all of
you-
a sudden,
They're on the edge.
but we
That's-
did rent a roller
Yeah, they're on the edge. so
with a vibrator on it and it smashed everything.
You're talking
So I
about
don't know what else,
Riley was picking them up in his dump truck and stuff and throwing them, or dual wheels or whatever. And that's what the problem was before. So if you're saying that there was no big chunks and he's saying there was, then what's that telling you?
I personally ran a roller over that whole road, 2 different days.
I'm gonna tell you, 'cause I've
And
seen
believe me,
chunks.
that was a big roller and it smashed everything.
And why would
Why
it be
these
chunks?
chunks are popping up all of a sudden, I don't know. But I know
we have to get a
Rigger
camera,
Road
take
wasn't
pictures
the
of them,
issue with
or...
Riley, it was Beckwith Road.
Beckwith Road was with Riley. It wasn't Reeder Road.
Well, I'm just saying. I've seen them on Rigger.
Do you have any comments to make on any of this? Other than the fact that you said that you delivered a load of stone the day that Riley said that there was big chunks of asphalt on
Well,
Beckwith
that
Road?
day I met Jeff Ring midway down that road. And I talked to him and Jeff never said
Was
one
that
word.
Saturday?
In fact, I met our maintainer on Adams Road. And I stopped him and in fact, I told him what a nice job it was. There wasn't none of that stuff on that road.
Well,
I don't know where he got
I
it.
drove my tractor, which was about top speed, 7-8 miles an hour down Beckwith Road Saturday, the Saturday before this all took place, and there was no chunks in that road. Because you would have seen him or felt him if you'd run over him with a tractor at 6, 7 miles an hour. I did not see any chunks on that road. So where he got them, I don't know.
Well,
So,
first he said it was on the road, then he said it was in the ditch, and then he said it was on the side of the road, so.
I'd like to get an end to this, because all we're doing is wasting time going over the same thing at every meeting. The same things over and over and over.